Was becoming a parent outside of your comfort zone?
Oh, yes, and so much more. I mean, I will never forget. This was, I believe, really my most profound moment in my life when I saw my kids. I have twin boys. It is so magic, so humbling, so unique when you see really the force of nature displaying itself in front of you. It is incredible. It's an incredible experience. Just to see this, like, I mean, this life in front of you, um, and it's it's a completely different dimension which is added to your life once you become a parent. Sadly, unfortunately, I have to also add that nowhere you get prepared for that.
It's the
Nowhere.
biggest
It
responsibility.
is, right, Roham. It is actually absurd. It is the biggest job and responsibility you have. And look at for what small things we need a degree, we need to pass exams, we need to have a driving license, we need to register, we need to uh, parent like anybody can be. And that's like that's a crime, to be honest.
It's too easy, right? Like a bunch of 15-year-olds can do it.
Yeah,
It's so dangerous.
and I consider myself very, very lucky that I got kids very late in my life. Not that I would claim I'm a very good parent, but I would have been a huge disaster as a parent if I would have had kids earlier. Huge disaster.
How old were you?
I was exactly 41.
41. So you would recommend to someone my age to wait?
Roham, you know, I had this discussion with some other students a few days ago. I cannot recommend anything as a parent. I can share my experiences and learnings, but I cannot recommend anything because I neither have data nor I feel I'm qualified to talk about this. For me, it was important that I was already in a different phase in life, that that I got kids, and also that I got married. So for me, this was important.
You also married later.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. After I got kids.
Mhm. So what was the number one learning from having kids?
Um, the number one learning is well, now it's high time to become self-aware. That was the number one learning. And to become self-aware and start working with this awareness. It's high time. Because now the influence area has been extended, and being a parent is a relationship which is so deep and profound from kids to parents that as a parent you better have some idea who you are, what you do, how you behave, where you mess up, and how you deal with these situations. So that's for sure one big topic for being a parent, and being open about this. I mean, being self-aware and manage yourself in all the areas of life, whether that's emotional, intellectual, physiologically, energy-wise, spiritually, and being open and upfront about this with kids. So being able to say this, that there are things which work, which didn't work, things you do which were not good, acknowledging this, being being very, very open and upfront about this is important. So that's for sure. That's one thing. The second thing, as part of this, probably, but I would still be aware and careful about the parent ego. What do I mean by this? As a parent, you really want to indirectly, consciously, subconsciously, you want to be something to your kids. Some want to be a hero, some want to be this, some want to be something else. This is a problem. Don't create, like, be very, very critical with your parent ego. And how does it show? It shows itself, airplane. Okay, let's imagine airplane. Family is sitting there, let's imagine they have 2-3 kids. And the kids open, this tablet where you can then put the food. Let's say 3-4 years old. And they realize that is a great toy. And they open, close, bang, 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 bang. And the mother goes in and says, stop it. It's really, really wrong. Now, it's good to educate your kid. My question there would be self-critically, if I would be sitting there. Am I really doing it that my kid learns something? Or is it because I don't want to look like a parent who hasn't control on his kids in front of all the other passengers? Is it really about my kid, or is it about my parent ego? And I'm afraid it would be much more the second than the first. Because what is the problem? If it annoys someone in front, let this person turn around and say, hey, this is not pleasant for me. It's a normal thing in life. That's not pleasant for me. Could you please stop?
So you wouldn't say it's the parent's responsibility to necessarily make the child representable, basically? Or would you say...
Make the child what?
Representable to society.
Oh my
able
God.
to function in society.
Not at all. You are not an object. If you would be my kid, you're not an object I'm showing around. Like when people come to my home, it's not a museum of some artifacts. Every human being, again, is a magic, like any creation is magical. As a parent, I have to be careful. That's perhaps the third thing I would reflect on. Not to limit my kids.
In any way.
In any way. Not to limit. Or wherever I limit because it's important for me, also be upfront about this. Be very upfront about it, that it annoys you, so it would help you if they could do this. Is this possible? But give them the chance to say no. Fine. But don't be offended then. We get this wrong. A human being, a kid is not a stone, and then, or a piece of wood, and then, as a carpenter, you do a bit here and you do a bit there. No. A kid is like a river. It flows. The river flows. And sometimes it might be necessary a little bit, to change the direction of the river, but it flows. You don't have to do anything to make it flow. You don't have to do anything to make it representable. The whole problem starts once you believe as a parent, I have to make them representable. Because what am I doing? My limitation of my brain, my emotions, my intellect, I apply on them. They are limitless human becomings. My limitations why do I make it their limitations?
Because culture.
Yes, but that is so wrong. Because they are by themselves a creature. What is in them? What is important for me as a parent to understand? What is, as they call it in Vedanta, in Sanskrit, Swadharma, what is the uniqueness of my kid? What is a superpower? What is something I see which I should help this kid to develop? Where else can I be helpful? Mm-hmm. But not to limit. Limit what? Do you really believe a kid comes in this world with bad intentions, with the will and desire to kick other kids, with the will and desire to steal and to conduct crime, with the will and desire to be detrimental to everybody else? I have not seen a single being who came like this. I've unfortunately seen a few who have been made like this. Not always because, but also of parents. I haven't seen a single one creature which came with bad intentions. I haven't seen this. It does not exist.